What the fuck?
How did we get here? We were just on the phone.
Just reverse, Ollie. Reverse, go on.
What do we do?
Just don't sit here, I don't want to sit.
It's not me.
What? No! What are you trying to do?
Hey guys, I am back with a new video. Today we are going to be analyzing Trough Road. There are 4 videos in total. I went ahead and watched the first one, and honestly, it was pretty terrifying. I'm glad I did not watch it at night because I'm the type of person to get paranoid. But you know what? Enough about that. Let's just get into the videos. Trough Road 1. In this video, we are introduced to boys who are trying to get back home, but it doesn't go as expected. On December 15, 2008, 4 boys from Stevenage, Hertfordshire were reported missing by their families. On December 17th, their bodies were found at Broomhaugh Farm, 10 miles outside of Stevenage, in their car they had been driving. The residence was thought to have been long abandoned, but upon investigation, police officers found signs of recent inhabitants. The following video is unedited footage from the digital camcorder found in the car. This has been released with families' consent in hope of aiding the investigation. We learned right from the beginning that these kids don't make it out alive. The only thing left to do is to watch the videos and see for ourselves what happens that fateful night.
Oh, that's no skeleton.
Broomhaugh Farm was in the news. I don't know what it was. I can't remember.
Have you ever seen this art? It gives me the shit so badly.
I don't think we should be here. It's like a private road or something.
Okay, so I better clutch down and roll backwards.
It's nearly 4:30. We need to get home, mate.
Wait, no, Ollie, wait. This is traffic. Do you want to just try and turn around this bit?
Can we please agree that we don't ever go back to this archway?
Okay,
yes.
agreed.
This is what
Nothing. That's full beams. What about this?
Woo! Woo! Do it again! Turn it back on. Do it again! There's like a bloke in the middle of the road. Oh, no.
Stop saying that because it will actually happen.
What does the sign say?
It says
we need Stevenage.
It says Walking. Beddington. That is no. I don't even know where that is. That's nowhere near us.
Right, let's just carry on. This is ridiculous. I've never even heard.
That was the first mistake they made during the night, and the deadliest. They made it to the Trough Road tunnel that led to a private road and made the mistake of going in. At least as we saw, they made the smart choice of reversing and going back from where they came from. But little did they know, it was too late. They had already entered the time loop. Just in case somebody does not know what a time loop is, it is when a person or multiple people re-experience a span of time which is repeated more than once with some hope of breaking the cycle. Keep into account the road signs Bennington and Wadden because it is going to be the sign that indicates that they are experiencing the time loop. So keep a lookout for those 2 signs because that's how you're going to know that something's just not right.
We are actually now lost.
We pulled over because we know where we are, and we've been driving down this road for about a fucking hour now.
James's GPS on his phone has stopped working.
It's scrambling like fuck.
Does it even say what time it is? My phone's just...
I'm scared because there are no lights in any direction.
Thank you.
Anyway.
The group continues to drive on a dark road for the majority of the video when things start to get weird. As you saw, they realized they were lost. Steven decides to get out the car and take a gander around the area when out of nowhere he sees something in the distance that left him in panic.
I'm just gonna have a look up the road, take the camera, I'm just gonna see if I can see the lights of Steve.
Let me get back in.
What is he?
Steve! Get back in! Drive!
What's the matter?
Drive!
Drive! Oh, there was someone and he was like wearing some sort of mask. Really want to get home now.
Another car for like an hour. It's scary how it's kind of my responsibility to get us home as well.
Jesus, every corner feels like the same.
It's so familiar, isn't it?
Because nobody's said it.
Have you not got a signal? Look, it's a sign, it's a sign. Okay, slow down.
Headings? What is it? Bennington again. Oh. What?
Nah, if it was.
No.
Oh my god.
And there's...
Wait, stop. No.
Yeah, no, we just got in a little circle, so it's...
We didn't- we kind of done.
No, Bennington's in the middle, that's all it is. Bennington is to the...
We've been going in a straight line.
No, we haven't, it's been left, I swear. Absolutely swear.
We didn't take any turns.
No, it doesn't matter, the road is curved. Relax, man.
No, it's...
Do you want to go to Bennington to prove it?
Do we
Then go
turn
left.
Stop
around?
saying man. It's...
Steve saw a strange man in a mask. They drove off, and as you saw, they approached the same street signs even though they have been driving straight the whole time. They continue to go through the same roads for a while, and then they actually find actual streetlights until they end up back at the tunnel by teleporting right when the headlights turn back on.
Jesus! Hello?
Stevenage. Welcome to Stevenage.
Wow.
Hey guys.
Stevenage.
Hey guys.
Lost.
Turn the lights on.
What the fuck?
How did we get here? We were just on the phone.
Just reverse, Ollie. Reverse, go on.
What do we do?
Just don't sit here, I don't want to sit...
It's not me. I can't.
Turn the bloody lights on! What the fuck? What? No! No! Turn... What are you turning on? Fucking idiot! Turn the fucking engine on! Shit, fucking... You can't see me. I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. No, please! No! Please! Please! No!
This video ends in a mysterious way. We do not know who the person in the mask is. Luckily, there is a second video that continues the story to see what happens after the deaths of Steven and his friends. This was only the beginning, so it's hard to come to an accurate answer of what happened that night and its correlation to the time loop. Will the second video answer our doubts, or will it only add more to it? What do you guys think? The Note Through Road 2 takes place 3 years after, and we learned that there was only one lone survivor from that night, James. At first, it isn't really clear what is going on until we learn that the survivor is paying his respects to his friends that were killed.
And when you look at the video, you see me get dragged out first, before Steven. I don't know how I got out there.
Don't remember anything.
Last thing I remember is flagging down that car and then being in hospital. I didn't speak to anybody, not even my parents. I don't have the answers.
You can tell that he still thinks and questions what happened that night. I honestly think he is bold for going back there because I would never. I'd go to their tombstones and leave them flowers, but best believe you would never catch me near that place ever again. You know what intrigues me right now? Is how he was able to make it out if when every time they tried a different path, they would always end up in the same place. I don't know, I just hope this becomes clear in the later videos. But continuing, James and Dave, the cameraman, they have an interesting conversation in the car.
Episode of the new series, and it was really clever because there's the doctor obviously, and there's another woman who also time travels, and because they're meeting each other in different time zones all the time, makes sense.
That's tight.
Each time they meet each other, they're meeting a slightly different version of the one.
Went back in time to when you got up. Would you see yourself in bed, or would you be waking up again?
Well, if you know you've done something, if you know I walked down that street at that time on that day, and you specifically go back in time to see yourself then you will, yeah.
Unless going time and then you are living yourself.
Oh, you see that? Yeah, there's a rabbit.
There's a tiny little web.
I feel like it is more than obvious that the time travel talk is a subtle hint for what is most likely going to happen. I am almost positive the same thing that happened 3 years ago is going to happen again, and they are going to get stuck at the same area from 3 years ago. because right after their talk, they stop because they have lost signal on the GPS. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to realize that if they lost signal and they're just gonna keep driving and they're gonna get lost and they're gonna just keep taking unknown roads. Exactly what happened in the first video.
I know it's frustrating, but we're lost now. We'll find our way.
Haven't you noticed where we are?
Shit. No, it's fine. I'm sure we're just going around in one big circle. If we keep heading one direction and we see that sign again, we'll just make a right or something.
Yeah, we
Camera though.
Yeah, but we want to get back.
Today. Shit. It's a sign
Okay,
again.
next right, I'm just going to go down it.
Bloody. James,
There's got to be a turn.
I don't like this. James.
Oh,
James, I got
Pissed off now.
ridiculous. What am I meant to do?
I don't know. Keep driving. Make a left.
Here we go again. What'd I say? Now, it is a given that it's all happening all over again. They have made it back to the infamous Bennington sign. We all know what's gonna happen now since they keep driving and always seem to make it back to Bennington. I am pretty sure you all noticed how the video was experiencing some interference in the area. You know, so you know what that means. Not so later, they did have an encounter.
You got any signal?
No. You got any internet?
I ain't got nothing. No Wi-Fi, no 3G. It's dead out here.
Get back in the car.
It was taking long enough, honestly. I don't know, but this is crazy to me how Dave did not see him standing in the field. But you know what did catch me off guard? Was when they get back into the car, a person passes in the back of it. And I say person because it wasn't the masked man.
If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have come, but I felt like I owed it to them.
Reckon it's a good thing you came back.
I just had to pay my respects.
Do you think it was worth it?
No.
Ah! Shit! Ah!
Steven!
Turn
around. He's waking up. Shit, waking up. Steven, it's okay. Steven, calm down. It's alright.
Where am I? Where? James!
Steven,
Oh, James!
where have you been?
James, you got away.
Yeah, I got away. Where have you been?
Dave!
Hi, Steve.
Dave, what's Dave?
It's okay, calm down.
Where have you been?
Alright.
Where is
It's okay,
he?
don't worry.
Where is he?
We're in my car. Where's who? Where have you been?
Where was I? I escaped. I went through the bridge.
It's okay. He's gone.
I went through the bridge and then
It's fine. That's gone. It's in the past.
what do you mean? It's in the past.
It's been 3 years. It's gonna be alright. We're gonna get back out of here. I got back over him before and we're gonna do it again.
You said you've been out for 3 years and I don't even remember. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I'm sorry I got you into this.
We're gonna do it.
Steven is back, but he's not just back. For him, it's like everything just happened. He still has blood on his face from when the masked man bashed his face with the camcorder. It looks like time traveling could be a valid explanation for this, but the question is how? Because it doesn't look like he found a time machine. He looks disoriented and confused, and he doesn't know how he got to present time 3 years later from where he was first at. The good thing is that everything is going to come to a conclusion because there are only 2 videos left. No Through Road 3 starts off right where No Through Road 2 left off. They all got in the car and continued driving.
Oh, my phone's ringing.
Finally.
Hello? I don't know, it was just a withheld number.
What did they say?
They didn't say anything.
Shit.
Sorry, I got you guys into this.
Right, we're turning right here.
Do you actually think that's going to help?
Well, I've got to try something, haven't I? It's fine. There's nothing we can do!
Nothing works.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
What do we do?
Drive. Drive.
Go, 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 go!
This video was short, it was only 2 minutes. In the span of these 2 minutes, we saw they got a call, but it was staticky, and also witnessed the car's teleportation when they encounter the masked man again after passing the same sign over again. This video didn't really answer any of our doubts, but what was kind of intriguing was how Steven kept saying sorry for bringing them into this. From what I remember, it wasn't his fault. He wasn't even the one driving in the passenger seat in the first video. He was even the one who said they shouldn't go through the tunnel because it was a private road.
Skeleton.
Broomhall Farm was in the news. I don't know what it was. I can't remember. I don't think we should be here. It's like a private road or something.
It clearly was not his fault, so why is he blaming himself for? Does he know more than what he's letting on? Because we have to take into account that he was missing for a while, so maybe something did happen. I guess we will know what happens in this last video. This time they didn't meet the same tragic fate. They actually get out the car and find a little shed they go into. Before they saw the shed, Steven did say something else that did catch my attention.
You got a bit of blood on you.
It's alright, I don't think it's my blood. I don't know where it came from.
He had blood on his face from what I assumed was when he got hit in the face with the camcorder, but he claims he doesn't know where it came from. I don't know, something just doesn't seem right with Steven. First the sorry and now this. Shortly afterwards, they enter the shed and they look at everything in the room, and it is obvious it is the masked man's little den. We were able to see all the different masks and also see that all over the shed there was writing. You may ask why I paused it right at that part, and it is because the door says time for crunchy. So to refresh your memory, I'm gonna play a little clip.
It doesn't actually take many, except I can't move to the left.
Just wait till
Look at the car, pull it to the left.
Steven is the one who said that in the first video. Something just doesn't seem right. How would the masked man know? It's not like the masked man has a Wi-Fi router in there, or he has like fast 3G. Like, they are in the middle of nowhere. There's no way he could have seen the video like Dave supposed.
How does he know this thing we said?
Maybe he saw the video.
What video? What video?
They decide to hide in the bushes in the dark when they notice something in the distance.
What is it?
No, don't.
Don't go.
I don't have a choice.
James. You said there was a film. The one from my camera. We've already done this.
What does that mean?
If you...
That means you're gonna die.
If I'm alive now, I think I could prevent it. I did it before. I think I can stop it.
What are you doing?
I got this from the shack.
Why?
So he doesn't recognize It's me.
Stephen, what are you doing? Stephen!
You can't see me. Oh, you can't see me. I think I'm okay.
Wait! Wait! No!
Stephen? Stephen! Stephen!
Wow. Okay, so now it's time to talk about what happened that night and its endless possibilities. Let's get the first major point cleared. I think we can all agree that the tunnel that they entered is what started the time loop. I'm going to take this slow and carefully because I want to get the best explanation possible for what happened, but be cautious that some of the points I explain might be different from what you believe happened, which is understandable. It's almost impossible to get the story exactly correct since there's so many inconsistencies throughout the whole thing. By all means, I would love to hear what you guys think and correct me on certain points that you think that I could have missed that might add on to the story. Okay, so since this is a full analysis, let's start with the first video. I don't know, to me it's crazy to look back at the first video and know that their future selves, the ones stuck in the time loop, are on the other side of the tunnel just watching everything happen. In the first video, we do not get much information except for when Steven said, "Time for Crunchy," which is seen written on the hut's door as well as other phrases they said during the first video. This leads me to believe that either James or Steven could have been the masked man. There's one comment that helped me kind of, make this analysis process a little more clear. In this story, there are 3 timelines: the past, the present, and the future. So guys, this might get really confusing, so please try to listen closely. In Note Through Road 2, 3, 4, we are met with James, the only survivor, and his friend Dave 3 years after Note Through Road 1. So now, in the present timeline, the Steven found is actually Note Through Road 1 Steven, because if you watch closely, when it was a battle between Note Through Road 1 Steven and present Steven, who was also Note Through Road 1 Steven, except in a different timeline, Steven from Note Through Road 1 manages to overtake present Steven. So the Steven who at the end ran into the distance after he killed his other self was actually Steven from Note Through Road 1. That is why when he pointed out that the blood on his face was not his, it left me confused.
You got a bit of blood on you.
It's alright, I don't think it's my blood. I don't know where it came from.
It left me confused because at that point of the video, it was before they entered the shed and also before we learned that the 2 Stevens had a battle. So the whole time I assumed the blood was his when he got his face bashed, but in reality he was telling the truth in that clip. It wasn't his, it was the other prior present Steven's blood from when he managed to wake up after being dragged to safety by his other self and then bashing his other self's face. I'm pretty sure when the time loop resets, so does the survivors' memories of their other selves, which explains why James barely remembers what happened that night and only remembers being dragged out the car, which also explains why Steven kept saying sorry because of what he did. He most likely remembers committing the act, but doesn't remember who he did it to, causing him to make the same mistake of trying to prevent the loop, but ends up getting killed by Note Through Road 1 Steven again, resetting the time loop. Now, the questions left is, where did James go, and what happened to Dave, the cameraman? I have a theory which could be completely off, but makes sense to me. We saw how James left the group before Present Stephen, the one they found 3 years later, figured out about the time loop and tries to prevent it from happening again. I think James realized it too, just as Stephen did, and decided to save his No Through Road 1 self. And that is why when the 3 years pass, his surviving self only remembers being dragged out of the car, but not being harmed. I think James is the masked man. I think he realized that he is living proof that if everything plays out the exact same way, then his No Through Road 1 self would survive, which caused him to kill his friends that were originally reported dead, because he knows that that is the only way he could guarantee his survival. I don't think he wanted to risk a timeline where his friends survive and they continue to drive through the same roads for eternity. That is why at the end, after No Through Road 1, Stephen kills Present Stephen and runs away, Dave is left alone. And if you guys remember, in the first video, there were 4 bodies reported. I think James finished Dave off to follow through with the timeline of 4 bodies, leaving the Present Stephen to pose as the Stephen from No Through Road 1 timeline, and then the other 2 friends in the car, and lastly Dave. If I follow the theory I just explained, then that would mean that James killed his friends to follow the timeline of his survival. I think the masked man, aka James, from the future is trying to prevent his No Through Road 1 self and his friends from entering the tunnel to try to fix the loophole and the colliding timelines, because he knows that the surviving him will end up killing everyone from No Through Road 1 to guarantee, once again, the survival of himself. Regardless if you think it was James or Stephen, I feel like it has to be one of them. That would explain the phrases on the wall of the hut. Let me know the theories you have, or add on, or even contradict my theory. I'm all ears. Like and subscribe, turn on post notifications, and this is the end of the video. I guess I'll see you guys in the next video.